Well, my name is Larry Faldudo. I was a student at the Inner Harmony Yoga Institute a few years ago. I had never stepped foot into a yoga studio before. My friend asked me if I would be interested in learning to become a yoga teacher. So I thought, anything for my friend because he's been good to me. So I gave it a try. Well, it started with yoga class, and I didn't really know much about yoga or chakras or anything like that. So I did take some meditation classes first, and it taught me a little bit of pretty much what I needed to know about the background of yoga. So I thought I could do this. So anyway, after a while, we started yoga class and we practiced the positions, which I thought I wasn't going to be any good at, but it came to me after a while because I had such an excellent teacher. Dr. Mato was our teacher, and he's been a mentor to me. I've known him for 20 years, and he studied all facets of holistic medicine. So I learned a lot in that way, but it really helped with the yoga class. Like I said, I had never stepped foot into yoga class before. Pete called me on the phone and asked if I'd be willing to teach his yoga class while he went to St. Martin. I said, Pete, I never stepped foot in a yoga class before. So, but I said, yeah, I agreed. Anything for you, Pete, Dr. Amato. So I did. And where I was in my life, I thought, the way I've experienced life so far, I've had a lot of special things happen to me. I see a lot of things go on around me, and I thought that I was a special type of person, and I didn't know how to relate. And when I went through yoga class with Pete, it just reaffirmed the path that I was on, and it gave me like a total reaffirmation that I was on the right path. So the different things that I was learning from yoga, I did want to find myself inside, because I had all these special things happening with me that I didn't know the purpose. So I think that it showed me the purpose. I think between meditation and yoga, I found that I was on the right path internally and externally, and that's what my best experience coming out of yoga class was. Like I said, I did know Pete all along, and I knew the different things that he offered. Like, for example, Dr. Mato had Inner Harmony Wellness Center where they would offer a lot of different things, types of holistic medicine. There was acupuncture, there was chiropractic, there was nutraceuticals. To talk about nutraceuticals, I had liver disease, and Pete tested me and gave me some nutraceuticals that I took for a while. And when I went back to the doctors, they thought I was had gone for a cure, which I told them I was on nutraceuticals, vitamins, and they couldn't believe it because my numbers were like back to normal. My numbers were way off. And then after being on nutraceuticals for a few months, my numbers were perfect. They had thought that I had gone for a cure. So, and that was only that. There were so many different aspects that I learned from Pete. Like I said, Dr. Amato was a mentor to me, because all along he wanted to help me because he saw the type of person I was, and I think he related to me, and he thought that he would be able to help me find what I needed to do. And I think that yoga and meditation brought me to be a very centered person. I'm around people now and they say, oh, I am very calm when I'm around you. And I said, well, that's probably because I took yoga and meditation classes. And they said, probably, but I think it's deep inside you. I said, yeah, and I think that you're right, but yoga and meditation, I think, really brings it out. When I first taught my first yoga class, I didn't think that it was going to go over very well. But actually it did, because I like music, and I found some yoga music that I wanted to teach my class to. And after getting into it, I would find that different parts of the music would show me where I needed to be in my class. So in the beginning, I would tell everybody to leave their stress and everything out the door, just let go of everything, and the music would play. A little bit demure music would play, and then as we got into the class, the music would pick up, and I would know that that's the time to start different poses, things like that. And then after a while, it just came normal. I mean, I may play the same music for a few classes, but the classes, they would just flow. They would just flow from the beginning to letting go, to connecting with your heart center and your third eye, and it would just flow into the poses. And then at the end, Shavasana, where you lay down and you get in contact with every different part of your body. People enjoyed that in my classes the most because they would say that they almost had an out-of-body experience, and people would come up to me and said, was I supposed to do that? Because I never felt like anything like that before. They said, was I supposed to feel like that? I said, well, you should have no expectations and you should feel however you feel, and that's all good. I mean, certainly if you're calm and you had a different experience that you've never had before, that's absolutely a good thing, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to calm your life down so you could deal with whatever it is you need to deal with a little bit better, because you have that little extra time to breathe and catch yourself and make better decisions. And that really surprised me, because I at the beginning I didn't think that I was going to be able to teach, because like I said, I had never stepped foot into a yoga class. But then after, people would come up to me and they would be really emotional and tell me how they loved the class and how it brought them places and how they learned strength and emotions. I try to consider myself as a pretty spiritual person. So as I'm teaching, I'm learning myself, and it was a give and take. I'd be learning and I'd be teaching at the same time. And all at the same time, I'm still realizing that I'm on the path that I didn't know I was on in the beginning, that I find myself continuing. People tell me I look good from the outside, but I'm really a sick person on the inside. I have a lot wrong with me. Emotionally, I'm a mess. I lost my mom 3 years ago. I still to this day, it's like as if it happened yesterday. I was diagnosed with hepatitis C, and for years I was told I may have only 10 years to live. So it kind of, builds up, you think you're dying, and then all of a sudden they come out with a cure, and I'm cured. But it's not like a light I could just turn on. I'm so happy I'm cured that I could live, but it's just something that, you have to experience little by little. And I'm most certainly grateful, and more than grateful, for all the, for the cure. But I like I said, I still have a lot going on, and it's like, and yoga definitely helps. It gets me centered. It brings me back to that inner peace. That's why I don't get bored. I don't really get depressed. I'm sad. I'm constantly sad, but I'm not where it's depressed. It's just because I think of yoga and meditation. It's just part of life. How could you know happy if you don't know sad? I mean, I'm happy. I may not show it, but I'm content. That's another thing. I've really learned that yoga and meditation has made me a content person, and I think it's a lot of times maybe being content is more important than being happy. So I really do attribute it all to my mentor, Dr. Amato. And because like I said, I've known him for 20-something years, and I've learned different aspects and different religions, different aspects, and it all comes back to, I mean, if Dr. Amato wasn't in my life, I don't know if I'd be the same person.